the Southern Hemisphere, all I'm seeing this time of year is spring and summer content and reading and vlogs and everything, and it sucks. So I wanted to share with you some of my favorite winter reads, what I'll be reading going into this winter, because I'm excited that summer is over. I'm excited for winter. I love summer, but bring on autumn, bring on winter. I'm ready. I'm ready to hop in bed and snuggle up with a book, with a lot of books. So here are my winter recommendations and my winter TBR. Okay, let's start with some of my favorite books that I think are best read in the winter time. First, we've got Barbara Kingsolver's The Poisonwood Bible. This is a colonial story of a family from 4 different perspectives. I think it can be read from any time of year, but it's very biblical, it's very powerful, and the description of landscape and the wet season in particular was something I really enjoyed about this book, and it's really stuck with me, and the ideas of grief and of longing and of sadness I think really bode well with the winter time. The second book I have to recommend is Perfume by Patrick Suskind. I think, although not primarily set in winter, it is grotesque, it is disgusting, it is that you want to sink in to the disgusting landscape outside of you. The next, 1984. I read 1984 in the winter time. It was perfect. It was raining, it was cold, it was getting dark, and I just think that idea, that feeling bodes so well to lean into. The next, wish I had read this during the winter time, is Hemingway's The Old Man and the Sea. Now, it's a very short story, possibly a novella of Hemingway's, but I just think it really condenses what he does best, which is description, characterization, being able to tell a story out of nothing. It is raw and it is hearty, and I love it. The next, The Tempest by William Shakespeare. Although it's a Shakespeare play, it is one of Shakespeare's shortest plays and most easily understandable. Begins with a storm and a shipwreck. What more can you want from winter when it's storming outside and disgusting and you want to read about it? I read during the winter time was The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid. Did I particularly love this book? No. I don't think it was for me. I got sucked into the TikTok book, the bestseller sticker, the fact it was cheap at Target. I got sucked in, and it's not framed towards me. It was an interesting read, it was a bit of a page turner, but honestly I was turning the pages to get to the end. It just wasn't what I was looking for within a story, but I think that I did read it at the right seasonal time, and that if you have been looking to read this, then winter may be the time to pick it up. My last pick is Sylvia Plath's The Bell Jar. If you know anything about The Bell Jar, I think you know it's a winter read. Okay. Next, we have the books I have selected to read this winter. Starting again with Sylvia Plath's, I want to delve deeper into her poems. I loved reading The Bell Jar in such a wintry setting, and I think it is time that I really committed to some of her poems. Bit of a possibly more accessible read, Anne Frank's Diaries of a Young Girl. I'm thinking, because I know it is such an important event to be aware of, to read about, to continue talking about, I'm curious to read a non-fiction of this time that is set out in such a different manner of letters. A book I will continue reading this winter, I did start it last winter, is The Wind in the Willows by Kenneth Grahame. It's cute, It's adorable. The riverbank's leisurely charm is the delightful setting for the exploits of ratty, mole, badger, and of course, the irresistible Mr. Toad. In the snow, in the spring. I just think it's beautiful. I love to pick it up before bed. It's very comforting. It's very warm and snuggly. Kenneth Grahame's immortal classic is essential to every young reader's library. Not a young reader, but essential. Piggybacking off my reading of 1984 in the winter, I'm thinking I want to pick up Brave New World. Finally. I've been meaning to pick this up for years. I really enjoyed 1984, and 1984 and Brave New World are commonly placed together as dystopian have-to-reads. Adolf Huxley. They're must-reads for anyone into literature, into dystopian literature. I just think it is time to finally read it. A book I did also pick up last winter and I haven't been back to is The Divine Comedies. Is this all of them? No, this is just Inferno. The Divine Comedy one, Inferno. Is there 2 and 3 though? No, I think it's just this one. It's a mammoth, but because it has the original Italian on the left and the English translation on the right, it is translated by Robin Kirkpatrick. Translated and edited by Robin Kirkpatrick. So I'm interested to pick this up again. I enjoyed the bit that I did read. It wasn't much though, like a couple of cantos at most. I think I literally made it to canto 2. But I just think it'll be a really good time to delve into when I have a lot of time to devote to it and a lot of attention. Shakespeare's The Winter's Tale. I loved The Tempest. I do want to do a reread of The Tempest this winter. And as I was picking The Tempest off my shelf, I saw The Winter's Tale, and I thought, I want to get around to all of Shakespeare's works eventually. I haven't read one in a while. I haven't read a fresh one in a while. I'm thinking this is going to be the next one I pick up. And last but not least is Shirley Jackson's The Haunting, also known, originally published under the title The Haunting of Hill House. I do love Shirley Jackson's short story The Lottery, and I want to read more of her work, and I rarely choose to pick up anything that has that little bit of a scarier aspect. It just freaks me out a little bit. But maybe, I know I need to. I want to read it. It's just a little bit scary. I'm not great with scary books. I'm gonna challenge myself with this one though. And there we go. There are all my recommendations for your winter reads and for my winter reads.